Good morning, everyone. Trust our night was great. I just spoke with the lecturer. He's joining us soon. And let's get ourselves ready. He's giving us a group work. So let's be ready. He's coming. Thank you.
All right.
All
Thank you
right,
too.
thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Ugu something the Swahili that they are speaking in your on your chat head. You don't hear them at all.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, sorry, I have network challenges and I have to switch to another system. Hope we all slept well.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yep. Yes, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, this is not Barnabas. My network is actually giving me hell. And I have to use very quickly use a system to log in. Hope we all slept well.
Yes, sir. Thank God, sir.
Yes, sorry, we are 1 hour late because I had a meeting, management meeting in the office, and I needed to attend to it before we commence the class. Can we have a recap of what we learned yesterday? Yes, can we have a recap of what we had yesterday? We learned yesterday. Chidima, are you there?
So, as my brother corrected the English that I spoke, as the added value to the English, I spoke very well.
Okay.
I'm going to pocket it and give it back.
Use your discretion, sir.
My discretion is to pocket it, so.
Go ahead and pocket it.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, are you there?
I'm here, sir.
Yes, can we have a recap of what we learned yesterday?
Sir, good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Good
Yes, sir.
morning.
We talked about
Yes.
let me say from my side, we talked about the relationship between is a health provider and a patient, and we talked about confidentiality, the patient, a lot more about patient and health provider.
Okay. So really did you understood about what we learned? I am. Okay, so start from share screen. Yes. Yes, Elizabeth. Yes, Precious, are you there?
As a functional, I know you guys know after that.
Japheth, are you there? Hello.
Hi, good morning, sir.
Yes. Can we have a recap of what we studied yesterday?
You're saying it right. You're saying it right. I don't know how you said that. You not saying before.
Hello.
Can we have a recap of what we learned yesterday?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Joseph?
Precious Okwe posted a recap here that it talks about standard for mental and medical health, which includes but are not limited to informed consent, cultural competence, access to health, professional boundaries. I think she's having problem with the mouthpiece of her phone. Though I was not, for me, I was not, as at the time the lecture commenced yesterday, my phone was down, so I couldn't join yesterday.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
It's all right. Okay, so for the purpose of those of you who were not in the class yesterday, we were looking at social standards in medical and mental health. And I was saying by way of introduction that social standards in medical and mental health emphasizes the importance of respecting patients' rights, dignity, and their individuality. And in maintaining patients' rights and their individuality and their dignity, there are core principles providers of care must follow. And we were able to highlight 3 of these core principles, which have to do with respect for the patient's autonomy, non-discriminatory service provision, and then confidentiality. And in ensuring that these principles, these core principles are adhered to, there are standard practices everywhere that service providers follow, whether it is at the organizational level or at the individual within the organization level. And we say these key standards include informed consent, that patients' permission is sought before certain procedures are carried out on them. We spoke about cultural competence. That's the ability of healthcare providers understanding the differences in our cultures and how best they can be able to manage or provide care to clients or patients as the case may be. The issue of accessibility, making healthcare accessible by all, and then also maintaining professional boundaries. And we say that in maintaining professional boundaries, every professional in the organization or within the organization should be able to make referral where necessary, not necessarily keeping patients beyond their professional capacity. We were also able to look at the relationship that exists between providers of care, either in medical practice or in mental health. And we say that relationship, that patient care, healthcare provider or patient or provider-patient relationship is a therapeutic alliance and not a social relationship. Therapeutic because it has to bring about healing to the patient. And it is built on certain elements which include, amongst others, trust. That relationship is one that is based on trust, because the patient is entrusting his life, is entrusting his challenges into the hands of the provider, either in medical or mental health. And it is expected that the provider provides care with utmost trust and sincerity. We also say that in the course of providing care, there must be effectiveness in the communication between the organization and the receiver of the care. And we say it must be done empathically. That is what we call empathy, which has to do with demonstrating and understanding and having compassion for the patient. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So providing compassion for the care, the patient or the receiver of care, whether in organization or in medical or in mental health. And we say that this relationship is very, very, very important because it brings about improved patient outcomes. It also increases patient engagement. It increases patient engagement with organizations that is providing care in terms of follow-up, in terms of adherence to treatment protocols, when there is improved or increased patient engagement. Then better communication. We also say that in communicating with your client or your patient, that has to be a free flow and clear-cut communication process that is unambiguous for the patient to be able to understand and also follow the necessary instructions. So that why this is, even as much as it is important, this is very important and paramount in provision of care. There are also challenges that are associated with this kind of relationship. Now, one of the challenges is that of time constraint. And we say that due to limited time with the patient, it makes building relationship a little bit difficult because the average time the provider of care have with the patient, depending on the volume of patient they have, determines whether an effective relationship can actually be built. Are we together?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so we also say that there are cultural issues that have posed a barrier to this kind of relationship. And the first is language. Language is a very serious barrier to building an effective relationship because in the provision of care, we were also able to understand that different people seek care, people from all tribes, people from all race, with different cultural backgrounds. And it is important to know that the care provider understands that what is acceptable in one culture as normal may be abnormal in another culture. So it is very important for the service provider to understand. It is important for the service provider to understand exactly the cultural issues that are peculiar to the client or the patient, that are peculiar to the patient's situation, and address them appropriately. Also say that beyond the cultural and language barrier, there is also power imbalance, that a patient-care relationship can be affected by power imbalance. The knowledge gap that exists between the service provider and the receiver of that service, whether it's in medical or in mental health, becomes a barrier. Now, bringing up your client up to speed, bringing up your client up to their level of understanding to be able to understand procedures, to be able to understand not just procedures, medications, side effects, and also agree that medications have side effects where there is actually every need for him or her to continue with this medication is actually a challenge. That's that's part of the power imbalance. And another power imbalance can also be seen in the difference between the level of authority. Now, it can also be from either from the client who looks at its position societal status in comparison with the provider of care. There can be authority imbalance, thereby affecting the level of care received and also provided. Apart from that, you can also look at socioeconomic status. The socioeconomic status of the receiver of care is also a challenge. You will also notice that clients who are coming from high social economic status may also tend to look down on the service provider and having issues that are bordered around adherence to medical instructions. It could be in-house admission, it could be outpatient provision of care, as the case may be. So these statuses or the client's socioeconomic status in turn affects this relationship. And we also looked at what strategies can be adapted to enhance this relationship that is existing between the client and then the provider of care. And we saw that in providing care and in receiving care, the provider of care has to adapt active listening. And active listening has to do that the provider proves to the client that he's really, really paying attention to what he's saying. And clients also watch out to know whether providers of care are actually concerned about their issues or they are not concerned about their issues. And utterances like, oh, go ahead, I'm listening, can actually encourage and enhance that relationship. The client or the patient is fully at rest that yes, the provider is actually concerned, is also empathizing with me. Oh, sorry about statements such as, oh, sorry about that. Can you go ahead? I'm still listening. I am with you. Encourages the client to understand that he really is being listened to. So some of these skills or these strategies, we enhance that relationship that is going to be existing between the receiver of care and the provider of care. And then we spoke about patient-centered care. We say care here should be patient-centered. The patient should be respected. The patient should be respected at all times, irrespective of his status, irrespective of his appearance, irrespective of his appearance, irrespective of his race. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we are.
Yes, sir.
We are together, sir.
So irrespective of his status, irrespective of his appearance, he should be respected. We also looked at cultural competence, which has to do with the ability of the provider of care to be culturally sensitive, being sensitive to one's cultural principles, one cultural acts, and one cultural status will really, really improve this relationship. So we also were able to look at our beliefs, how our belief system tend to affect our access to medical and mental health care. Our values. We first looked at values, and then we also looked at beliefs. And we say that values have to do with principles and ethical standards that guide the actions and decisions of healthcare professionals. And we say the first strong belief held by medical professionals and mental health professionals is that prevention is better than cure. And you will also notice that treatment is tailored towards prevention of the onset or outbreak of diseases or infections. And you will see vaccine programs are being rolled out to ensure that patients really, or people really avoid getting sick, and also the adoption of certain behavioral practices that are going to affect an individual in the long run. And so in medical health, providers of medical care value patient safety and dignity. They also value their integrity, and also they uphold excellency or excellence in care provision. So these are some of the values that are actually held by medical practitioners in practice. These values transcends into also mental health, because in mental health, the values have evolved to also include values like compassion. Having compassion for a patient who suffers mental health, adopting a non-discriminatory or stigmatization approach to ensure that patients who have mental health, are well integrated back into the society and receive the best care. And for doctors providing care, they want to base treatment approaches on evidence-based, well-researched evidence-based care, treatment approaches that are going to improve the well-being of their patient. So if some of these values are seriously held by providers of care, either in medical and mental health. And we also say that our belief system have a way of affecting how we receive care. And we saw that we were agreeing together yesterday that beliefs have to do with shared convictions or viewpoints that are being held by healthcare providers. They long way shape how patients are treated and how they are also cared for. In practice, we were saying that medical health belief shapes how healthcare providers approach treatment. I will say, for example, they believe that prevention is better than cure. It's what has triggered what we have today as vaccines. It has triggered what we have today as medical education, has increased what we have today as sensitizations concerning outbreaks and concerning treatment protocols of certain ailments. Of course, you will also know that patients also have their own belief system that affects them. It affects their response to care, their response to medical instruction, their response to adherence to medical instructions. So our belief system have a strong way of influencing and affecting how we actually assess care as receivers of care and also as providers of care. Now we were able to touch on briefly on the historical basis or historical view of mental illness. We're agreeing that mental illness generally has a long history to have emerged, from gods and goddesses inflicting for various reasons. That culture has a way of influencing the onset of mental illness, and the beliefs we hold about mental illness also determines to which we are going to access care. That is to say that for those who believe that mental illnesses, are as a result of the sins we have committed, we often see them taking people who suffer mental illnesses to church or to prayer for deliverance and for healing. And for those who hold mental illnesses of gods and goddesses or spirits, forms and incarnate, in them. Now, practitioners is that mental illness is a combination of three basic factors: the psychological factors, the biological factors, and the sociological factors. And because of this, a model of mental illness has evolved over time, the biopsychosocial model of treatment. And this model looks at a combination of biological factors, psychological factors, as well as the social factors as they influence illness. So to some extent, our belief system determines how we perceive illnesses, whether they are mental illnesses or whether they are medical illnesses. These were some of the issues we looked at yesterday. Is there anybody that is lost as at where we stopped yesterday? Is there any one of us that is lost? Hello?
Hi, sir.
Hello, we are in class, sir.
No, sir.
No, you are not. You are not in class. Is any one of us lost?
No, sir.
Okay, so today we're going to. Okay, so today we're going to look at how these elements interact. I'm having problems sharing my screen with you. It's what I've been trying with since I'm not using my system. But I think we can continue until I have success in sharing that screen with you. Is that agreed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think at the end of the class today, should be a drop on our platform the lecture notes for us to also be able to go through them. So today I want us to look at the relationship, how these elements interact together. What are these elements, or what are these variables we are talking about? We're talking about our relationship. We're talking about our values. We are also talking about our belief system. How do they interact together to enable us or access care or receive care, or how do these elements interact in healthcare practice? I want to draw our attention to the fact that for those of us, a geography student, we have what we call compass. The compass was a geographical tool. Now it's a GIS tool that helps us navigate through difficult terrain. Medical and mental health professions also seem to be a very difficult terrain for us. Difficult in the sense that there is an interaction between our value system, the relationship we build, and also our belief system. They tend to affect how we accept care. They tend to affect how we also adhere to medical instructions and improve well-being. So it's actually very difficult. Difficult because we live in a multicultural setting, where in one society you may have different cultures residing there with different values, different belief systems, and different patterns of relationship. Now, our values in this situation act as a compass for healthcare professionals in guiding ethical behavior, in delivering delivering compassionate care. Now, you have people who have different systems. We have people who have different beliefs, all assessing medical help value for patient beliefs, values guides that ethical behavior. The values of the the provider of care guides his ethical behavior. He knows that yes, this can be done this way, but it has repercussions. So it needs to be followed this way. That's what value does to you. It directs you at form of action, or form of care. For instance, what does the medical value on that as a provider of care, you shouldn't provide care to your own relation? You know, that value guides you that you, even though your person, you have professional skills in this area, you need to exercise strength in providing care to your own relative. The simple reason is you can over provide, you can provide on compassionate ground. So you need to make referral. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we
And
are.
then our beliefs, on the other hand, influences how healthcare is being practiced and perceived. It shapes treatment philosophies, it shapes public health initiatives, and their overall approach to patient care. So in hospital setting, the organizational roles of doctors and nurses, technicians, and administrative staffs are clearly spread out. So doctors diagnose and prescribe treatment, nurses provide direct patient care, and technicians assist with procedures and tests. And you see that there's a clear defined rule based on the value the system or the organization attaches to individual care or to individual clients' care. So the relationship between these professionals must be collaborative and not antagonistic and not conflict in nature, where patient suffers at the end of it. So the hospital values patient safety, evidence-based medicine or treatment. That's the relationship between the organization and the staff providing care. That yes, there's a platform, and you bring in evidence-based approaches to care, and then on this platform, you roll it out to those who need that care. So that relationship is collaborative. That relationship is therapeutic. That relationship is empathic because you provide care in an empathic environment. And in the psychiatric or in the mental health setting, the psychiatrist diagnose a patient with depression and prescribe antidepressants. The psychologists provide therapy. And where there are social issues relating to integration back into the society, you will also see where the social workers are coming to work and see how that patient is effectively integrated back into the society. First, his home. Second, his network of friends. Thirdly, his workplace. So you see that this relationship exists, but it is purely therapeutic and it is based on values and the belief system of the organization in respect to the provision of care. Have we understood to this point? Are we together?
Yes, sir. We are.
I am sensing we are so much engaged with so many other things that are actually taking our time from this lecture. Okay, so in conclusion, looking at relationship that exists in mental health care, we want to say that in medical health practice, all organizational rules, relationship values, and beliefs are interrelated elements, and they form the backbone of the healthcare system in providing care to those in need. And I want us to understand that when these elements align, they create a healthcare environment that promotes efficiency, compassion, and they help in taking ethical decisions that ultimately brings about improved health outcomes of our patient at all times. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there any question? Is there any question on that?
No question from my own end, sir.
Okay. We are going to take the next topic that has to do with a historical context. But we have we have 12% in class. Right? We have 12% in class.
Yes, sir.
We're going to make this topic a discussion. This next aspect of the class a discussion class. So we are going to take Abito Stella, Ahemen Chidima, Amos, Doga Jaffet, and Elizabeth. We're going to break this class. You're going to discuss the historical context or historical evolution of mental health and its practice, your understanding of how mental health evolved and how it was practiced before the onset of modern beach medicine. Florence, Joseph, Wazan, Nanny Grace, Precious, and Ruth. We're going to discuss evidence-based care, recent evidence-based care in mental health. What are the challenges of assessing mental health and medical care in our present generation? As we proceed on break, we're going to do a very brief presentation on these two aspects of our course. We're going to make it practical because that's the best way we understand this aspect of our interaction. Is that okay?
Sir, please, the second question.
Okay, the second aspect is going to focus on evidence-based treatment in medical and mental health care. What are the challenges facing inhibiting, or what are the challenges militating against access to quality mental and medical care? You will highlight them when we come. We'll hold our discussions together.
Okay, sir.
So please repeat so please help us to repeat question 1.
Okay, look at the historical evolution of mental health and medical care. Very briefly, it's going to be a discussion class. So you highlight your points as we return back for our 1 hour break, 1 hour, 30 minutes break. We will discuss it together.
Okay,
is that clear?
sir. Thank
Elizabeth,
you, sir.
Is that clear? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's all right. So by the time we're rounding up our discussion in this class, we're going to round up the first component of this interaction, and by tomorrow, Dr. Dorothy, we continue with you for the second aspect of this class. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So we're turning back here by 12:30, right?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Sir. All right, sir.
Our break is supposed to have spanned from 12 to 1, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll return by 1 o'clock so that you can also take part of your break. We can return by 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Please, my group members, let's meet on WhatsApp sharply.
Am I your group?
Who is speaking?
It's Sophia.
No, you are not.
No.
You are in group 2.
Is it
Jafet,
group?
Dende, Chidima.
Okay, very quickly. Then the Amos was a Sophia, Abito Stella, Ahemen, Nong Chidima, and Chidima, Doga, Jafet, and Elizabeth are one group. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Florence, Joseph, Wazan, Precious, and Ruth are in another group.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
This one, right? Not the small energy. You go here, we go here, come in the work. Yes. Not in the group. My brother, all this is not, if you are not blocked, the record will give you that job. Yes, that's it. Forget about it. Next, you will join media if he wants now. Lecturing job. At least change way. And some don't get time to go through it. Some people get money just to come and flourish and this is their way. See? Now, at this level, our Nigerian government is not going to try. If person who does a PhD and this, they teach, you know, supposed to collect money. You know, supposed to it's not that most of this they are paid by it's called cash now. Yes, not all. Sure, you can't be working for two governments at the same time. I'm beginning together with this one. You quickly just enroll for PhD. What? The good thing about the two, they know what they have done. The good thing about is about the two of them, they know what they have done. Yeah, this over. Yes, now the same course they read in psychology. You know, say these two people, they see the kind of houses they build. This man and this one. They have done that cooperative where they open. Okay, now this open. I think they open the cooperative. The only way they make They see to see their houses. Yes. Now, if you don't get your own house for this, don't. What is it? Is it not the focus to pay your children's school fees? Don't be surprised when I say they did this family offices like that's all we are. Oh, very good, very good. In that, you are saying the new fisheries.
You remember? The rare fish, the rare pigs, the rare chickens. Yes. By the pig now recently. Fish na 13, chicken na 13. This guy got money. Oh.
In the dry chicken.
It's still there now. You know, sell them. My wife mostly. Nah.